You ready for the awkward?
Yeah, I have to like shake off my. I don't know. I have to actually speaketh and not be fake.
Or should I just use that? Should that be
Yeah,
the start right there?
just you
Yep, that works. All
confused.
right. Hello, welcome. This is the Marble Bros podcast because we have nothing better to do at the new year. Uh, my name is Tyler. I am the co-host.
What? Hello, I am Justin. I am co-host little brother.
And we play video games because, again, we have nothing better to do, even this close to the new year. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Justin,
No,
what have you been playing recently?
so many games. Uh, really, you know what game I've been playing recently? I've just been playing every single Batman game known to man.
Are you still playing Gotham Knights, or did you stop and move on just to the Arkham games?
I am still playing Gotham Knights. It's like a toxic relationship. I just keep going back, even though I know nothing will be much better.
Are you still over? Are you over 100 hours in that game?
I am 98 here
I
on my
am.
year in review.
I am disappointed. I'm
It's my second most played game on PlayStation this year.
just to be clear. I am not disappointed that you haven't hit 100. I am disappointed that you've gotten close to 100. That's important distinction here, because that's disgusting. That's
It is quite disgusting. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of anything I got on PlayStation.
So you're playing that. You're not doing Arkham Origins though. You just played the first two, and now you're on Arkham Knight.
I'll probably go to Arkham Origins. It's just I have very little nostalgia for Arkham Origins because I probably played it the least of all the Arkham games when I was a child.
Yeah, I never played that one. I did play the other three though. Um, I think Arkham City was my favorite, but I keep seeing videos of people like kind of getting nostalgic for Arkham Knight, even though it's like what 7 years old now. Well, it came out 2015.
Yeah,
Yeah, that game looks good because everybody keeps comparing it to Gotham Knights, and I'm like, man, Arkham Knight looked really good back then.
Arkham Knight is phenomenal. I've been replaying it, and I don't know why I ever stopped playing that game.
Yeah, I've never played any of the DLC for any of the Arkham games though, so I didn't play the after story with Harley Quinn in Arkham City. I didn't play. Was there's a Red Hood DLC in Arkham
There's
Knight?
a lot of chapters. Honestly, those chapters are better well made than the entirety of Gotham Knights. Those are like half of my playtime alone on Arkham Knight.
One day I'll have to go back. So besides Batman, are you playing anything else?
Not really, not some occasional shooters like Overwatch or something, which is also a toxic relationship, but not gonna talk about that one right now.
Yeah, I played God of War one. Not 2018, one. Because I tried to play all of them this year and I got through one of them. But I've only been playing Sea of Thieves with you because both I have to work and I don't know what I want to play next. Besides, eventually God of War 2. So I put, I don't know, 6 hours in this week in Sea of Thieves. It's not enough. I'm getting the itch.
The itch for more Sea of Thieves.
I enjoy it. I want to play more. I don't know. I want to, part of me says that, and then I'm going to get into like 1 or 2 days of grinding and be like, all right, I'm done with the game for the next 2 years. I'll come back later. Maybe it'll be different because I haven't played any of the story stuff, and I just understood now that like all those there's like 5 story missions with Jack Sparrow, but then there's 10 more that are like just original.
Yeah, the Tall Tales.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've like semi delved into, but not really.
And then I've also outside of gaming, I haven't started Reggie's book because I finished Ask Awada, and I haven't started the Disrupting the Game with Reggie, the legend.
Wow,
Uh,
neglecting our Lord and Savior.
yeah, it happens.
Cannot believe you.
Uh, and I played the Game of Thrones board game finally. That was a
How was
very
that?
long experience, but it was really good.
How long? Like Monopoly long or
I think it took
D&D long?
us. I mean, keep in mind this is the first time we were all playing, so we had to learning. But I think it took about 4 hours. There was five of us.
So D&D long.
Yeah, sure. I haven't played D&D. We've talked about it for years.
Yeah.
Never once played it. So,
But
and then
you own a lot for D&D.
I own a lot for D&D, and I also bought the stuff for the Avatar role playing game, Last Airbender, and I bought you the stuff for the Avatar role playing game.
Literally like 5 days ago.
It was a Christmas present, pre-order. Yes.
Yeah,
But you've been reading.
I have been reading. I've been reading the Lord of the Rings series. I've taken a little break because I've been playing all the Batman games, but I'm just in a Batman mood right now with the release of Gotham Knights, even in its current state. But it's been pretty good. It's very different from what I normally read, which is borderline Wattpad fanfics of romance books that are not very well made, but
I
they
did
are
not
what
know
they
you.
are.
I didn't know you read those, and I don't know if I needed to know that you read
I
those.
don't
But
think you need to know that. They're all quite mid.
oh, okay, I will take your word for it. I bought the Stellar novel recently, which is the prequel to the Warcraft movie. I don't even know what it's called. It's like I think it's like dumb. I don't know. I'm looking at it on my shelf. I can't read it from here.
To the
Uh,
Warcraft movie?
the Warcraft movie. It's a prequel
Hmm.
book to the movie. So
I wanted to see that movie. I heard reviews and then it just made me too scared to actually watch it.
I have seen it. I thought it was pretty okay. I didn't know half the stuff that was going on, but I enjoyed what I watched. Now that I know about 2% more about Warcraft, I feel like I would enjoy it again.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like starting Harry Potter on the sixth book.
I'm on book 4. I'm listening to the audiobooks. I've been on book 4 for a month and a half, but I'll get there one day. However,
It takes time.
you got Warcraft, which is ancient, and then we have the 2022 games, which some of them feel ancient. Uh,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about our favorite games from this year, and I have played all of the big hits, and by all of them, I mean none of them. I did
Yeah.
not play Elden Ring. I did not play God of War Ragnarok. I did not play Stray. I don't know what were some of the other Game of the Year contenders. There was really only
Uh,
two, but
Horizon was one.
I played an hour of the first Horizon this year. Never played it before. It was enjoyable, and then I didn't play it anymore.
Not too enjoyable, just enjoyable.
It was enjoyable from a distance. I also played like the first 10 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima at some point,
That game was very good.
and then I didn't play it anymore.
Oh,
Haven't
that
played that
was
game yet either.
a 2020
No, that
contender.
wasn't. That was when I got my TV. I played 10 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima, and then I never played it again. I was like, okay, it was the PS5 version too. So, but the games I did play this year are amazing because very few people like to talk about these games apparently. But I played Kirby.
How was that? Oh wait, I remember you playing that. Didn't you 100%
I
Kirby?
100% in Kirby. I got all of like the little trophy guys. I did like the universe breaking boss and fight and all the extra hard stuff. I did everything in Kirby. I feel pretty good about that one. Um, I don't know. I don't have much more to say. Kirby was pretty good, but I, it's probably the best Kirby's ever been. However, this is the only Kirby game I've ever played, so take that with all the expertise.
Yeah, I know very little about Kirby. All I know from Kirby is Smash, and which
Hmm.
is mostly me losing. So
Yeah, Kirby is traditionally garbage in most Smash games. I don't know. I just know Melee, and I know he's the worst character in Melee. So
well, I am traditionally garbage in most Smash games. So
you were pretty good for a minute when we played like 300 hours, but um, yeah, no, I'm not proud to admit that one. What big games did you play this year, Justin?
like most of them, most of my opinions on them are kind of L opinions, but my top, I guess the games I played the most this year
Are disgusting.
are pretty gross. The only new one that I played the most was Gotham Knights, as we had previously talked about, which is just a
Critical
sin in of
masterpiece.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, just amazing. Gotham Knights is okay. It's not my favorite. I think the problem is it compares to all the Arkham games, which is Gotham Knights. I think fails compared to all of them.
Yeah. Any
But on its
Batman
own,
game, like
yeah,
the Lego Batman games, did Arkham Knights, did Gotham Knights better?
that may be true. But I've only played like the first Lego Batman.
That's not true. When we were children, we played like most of them, and I was forced to play as Robin. I can't believe you don't remember this. We got them for
But
Christmas.
I played like Lego Batman 1, and I played the first couple levels. That was on the Wii, wasn't it?
It was on the Wii, yes.
Yeah, I played the first couple levels, but I did not play Lego Batman 2 or 3.
Yeah,
And I
you
don't remember anything
abandoned.
about Lego Batman 1.
I think my main problem with Gotham Knights is that everything it has done has already been done much better to much older games.
By the same publisher.
Yeah. The only new thing it has is co-op, and even though I didn't really experience, we played a lot of co-op. Even though I didn't really experience a lot of the problems people said they had with co-op, apparently most people did. They had a lot of frame drop issues with co-op.
Well, we had some frame rate issues. There were several times where I was definitely chugging along the map, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
But we didn't start the game until after Thanksgiving, so there may have been some patches by the time we got to it.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep going back. I think it's just my loyalty to Batman. But
Now, what was your most played game this year? What was that disgusting
of
title?
all time, or like
No, this year.
just PlayStation, like
Oh, I don't know. Did you
just
play?
PlayStation.
I didn't think you played anything else more than PlayStation this year.
I don't think I did. I think PlayStation was my most played console this year, but for PlayStation, it is also a sin, and I will never be able to return from this. It was Fortnite in 2022.
It's disgusting.
I am so sorry. Please revoke my gamer privileges.
Uh, It's one of those things where like I look at the new update and I'm like, oh, I like The Witcher, and I enjoyed Fortnite for like a couple hours at a time, and then I would take a break for a couple months. But I just don't want to go back. I
It's
don't like building, and I know there's a no building mode and everything, but I just don't want to.
it really does take a toll on the soul. It's I don't know why. I think it's just one of the few things that I know people that play it, and also I can mask the fact that I'm playing Fortnite by using a skin of a game that's actually good, like Kratos or an Ariana Grande skin to mask the fact that I'm playing Fortnite. It makes it slightly more interesting.
I forget that people like Ariana Grande made it into Fortnite,
it's
and I'm still baffled.
it's poetic.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I own the Kratos and the Master Chief skins. I even made sure to do whatever special thing so I could get the black armor for Master Chief. But I don't know if those are my proudest achievements. I don't think they're my worst, but I don't think they're my proudest.
I stay loyal, okay? Ariana Grande, number one stan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kratos, number one stan. He was
When
my top listened to
when
on
they put Dua
Spotify.
Lipa in the game, then I'll come back to Fortnite. That's
That's
all right.
your come
That's the
back to
rule.
Fortnite
I'm
moment
episode 1 of this podcast. That's the rule. I will come back to Fortnite when
for
Dua
Dua
Lipa
Lipa.
has a skin. Yes. If they announce that next week, I'm going to be so mad.
It's gonna be the new concert event.
No. Well, I also played a beautiful game that uh you could not get into. I played a lot of Call of Duty this year, specifically the new one. I did not bother with What was last year's? Was it Vanguard? Yeah, that was Vanguard last year.
Mayhaps.
Yeah, I didn't care for Vanguard. I liked the multiplayer enough, but it just seemed like a weaker, like World War II version of Modern Warfare. The zombies was hot garbage. I know they kind of fixed it, but I didn't touch it. But Call of Duty came out, played the campaign. That's only like 5 hours long. It was all right. Like I don't think it reaches the highs of the classic campaigns, but it certainly was not bad. But I just really like Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I like their multiplayer. So I have like 60 something hours in that since it's come out. And I was gone on vacation for like 2 weeks right when it came out. So I was late to the game, but I'm at like level 200. I completed the battle pass. I'm feeling okay. I got to, it's giant. Yeah, I got diamond on the shotguns so far. I'm getting close on the SMGs.
How much time have you put into that game?
Like 60 or 70 hours, somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay.
That's my
That's
go-to.
not as
Like, all
bad
right,
as I've
I need
seen.
to do a podcast, or I need to listen to a podcast. All right, let me throw on Call of Duty while I grind this out.
Yeah, I tried it during the recent free trial, and I told you already, it just kind of it felt the same to me. I don't play a lot of Call of Duty, so that's probably why, but the entire time it just felt like I was playing the same Call of Duty that I played a long time ago. Don't know which one that was. Probably on the PS3, but it was never my cup of tea. But
You probably played
I
Black
have
Ops
my
way back
PS3
when.
game. It's probably the first Black Ops.
That one had great zombies and
That's
great multiplayer.
exactly
That
what
was a
this
good
is.
game.
Yep.
That was a
The
good
first
game.
Black Ops.
Black Ops 1's a classic.
It is a classic, but I just could not get into it. I don't know why.
You know, like modern Call of Duty.
Probably not.
You know what upsets me is modern Call of Duty zombies. That's where I can't get behind. And apparently neither can Call of Duty because they just keep not doing it well. So, but I also one of the I think where did I put it? I have my list in front of me of all the games I played this year because I like to track that. In my top five was another game I recently played that came out this year. That was High on Life. That was really good. That's the Alien Rick and Morty one.
Oh, the Justin Roiland game.
Yeah. I can never remember his name. Oh, that game was great. Space Applebee's. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
need to play. Is that on Game Pass?
it is on Game Pass, but that would require you to plug in your Xbox. So
Well, I could pay like $1 and get it on PC. Isn't it like
I
a
don't know if
dollar on PC for?
it might be.
Because I don't think I have it. I think a first time purchase is $1. And then cancel immediately. I don't know. Talk about that game more. Sorry, I've seen very little.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the game. It's clearly like it's an indie game. I don't know what that just came out of my mouth. It's an indie game. That's what I tried saying. But there's some reused levels and everything. It's not that long of a campaign, but I feel like it's like the perfect. Like, all right, cool. Here's a 6 to 8 hour game. I actually think it's about an 8 to 10 hour game. It took me about 8.5. Here's an 8 hour game that's really really funny. Nothing shooting wise, nothing amazing, but it's all like creative and unique. And yeah, you go through the same levels. I think each level you go back to once, but then you explore a new area and you have new abilities every time you go back. And they're like teddy bears, or they're Care Bears. And at some point, you come across one that's like cut in half and bleeding out, and you're gonna spend money to pretend to make money. Okay, we left off at some point. Let's see here. I was talking about High in Life, and we're back because Zoom wants money, and I gave them some money. Yeah, no, it's really good. I don't think the combat is anything amazing. In fact, you fight a lot of like the same yellow blob enemies the entire game. There's like yellow blob enemies, and there's like some of them are colored like red, and they charge at you versus hanging back and shooting at you. And there's some ants you fight at some point. It's like playing Grounded. I don't know. I didn't play that game, but regardless, that it's okay. It's a really good, funny game. If you like that Rick and Morty Justin was his name Roiland. He just said it a minute
I
ago.
believe so. Justin Roiland.
Yeah, he's funny, in my opinion, and so I enjoyed the game. That was really good. Made my top five for the year. No, top five for the year of all the games I played. I guess if it's games that came out this year that I actually played, it'd be top three technically. What
That
else did
High on
you
Life would be
play?
top three.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind. Like I didn't play. I played one, two, three, four, five, six. I played 7 games that came out this year.
That's true.
Yeah, I did not play that many. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't like. I thought it was really really good. Maybe it's because I just recently played it, but I really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Hmm.
What else did you play this year that came out this year?
Well, my third most played game on PlayStation came out this year is Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
I logged a total
only
of
to be
50
trumped by Elden
hours.
Ring like 20 days later. I don't know
Yeah.
how soon that came out.
I put a decent amount of time into that game, and I remember very little of it. I think everyone thinks that game is the most forgettable of the nominees, but I really liked it when I was playing it, and I was in my mojo. I got to go into Gamer Zone and just lose 50 hours of my life playing it. But I remember very little of the story. I'd probably have to watch a recap or replay it if they make a third one.
Are you gonna play the DLC when it comes out? The was it the Burning West or something? The Burning something?
Maybe. I, it's hard to remember most of what happens in that game. It's not a bad story or anything. It's just one that the way it's like just kind of whipped up, it's it's nothing more than forgettable. It's unfortunate. It's not a bad game either. It's a good game.
That's not to
Deserved
say
to
that
be
the
on the
actor was bad
nominees of.
either. Because
No, Ashley Birch. I love Ashley Birch. She's phenomenal.
yeah, I've just heard it's a very open world game where it's like, all right, cool, here's a bunch of things, go upgrade and collect, and eventually get to the story. And I don't know. Again, I plan on playing it at some point. That one and the first one. That's the story of every video game ever, though. So
So
yeah,
I feel like I just crapped on that game, but I did enjoy it. I put 50 hours on it, so I'm not gonna put 50 hours on a game that I didn't like, but I remember moments. I don't remember most of the narrative, and the gameplay is really fun. It's like if they combined, like Monster Hunter with any story-driven game. It's unique, but unfortunately, it was not enough to break through things like Elden Ring or God of War.
well, I'm sure you have some more games, but I'm gonna jump to some of the games I played that didn't come out this year that I continue to play this year and played a lot of. Which was I played Battlefield 2042. Played a lot of that. Uh, I thought that game was still pretty good. Apparently now everybody else does, but as soon as Call of Duty came out, I haven't touched Battlefield. But I thought Battlefield 2042 was still actually pretty good. Not the best by any means, but I enjoyed it. And then I put, hold on, I have the number pulled up on my phone. I played a lot of Halo Infinite this year because I have just issues of letting go of my childhood, and I put another 120 hours of Halo Infinite this year. So, yep. And I didn't think I played any campaign. It was all multiplayer because, again, I have issues and I enjoy that game, and I just want them to be able to make more content
Did
at a
they ever
slightly
add the
faster
co-op
rate.
to the campaign, or
Yes, they
is
did.
that okay?
Yep, they added campaign co-op in season 2. Or no, they added it for the winter update. So they did season 2, which was another 6 months, and now they're doing the winter update, which isn't even a full season, but it did add a lot of stuff. They had the co-op and mission replay. They added Forge mode, which will pretty much be in permanent beta. Um, this month in December, after it launched, they added custom server browser. So now you can play Mario Kart or go into like Andy's room from Toy Story. They're absolutely amazing Forge made maps. But I just want some official developer made maps to come a little faster, and they only have a 30-tier battle pass for another 5 months, which is a long time. Yeah, I really like the game, but I need a little bit more game at some point. I put I think I'm at like 280 or 300 hours in Halo Infinite. Like I really like the game. Just want a little bit more game.
Yeah, didn't you like stack up on the double XP before release? All the
Yes. So before it got delayed out of the launch year for Xbox, they did a promo that was tied with Monster. I've never drank more Monster in my life. I think you drank it with me,
yeah.
and you got double XP, and you can get up to 100 hours of double XP. And so I did. I got 100 hours of double XP because problems. But
Yeah.
then when the game launched, they were all in like 30-minute chunks, and people didn't like that. It was like, all right, it's a real world time, right? Like how Call of Duty does it. So you start it and then you get into a match. But anytime you're customizing or matchmaking or loading, that's real world time that you're not getting double XP that's being wasted.
Hmm.
And people were tired of equipping every 30 minutes. And so they just decided to double it to an hour for every XP token. They didn't have the number of tokens though. So I now had like 400 hours or something really, really stupid, 300 of double XP. And XP only goes towards the battle passes. And I've finished all three battle passes and I have nothing to use it for. And I can't even use it until they do another one. So I have double XP for, I think, the rest of ever playing that game. They also put more double XP in the battle passes as well. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what everybody's problem is with the battle pass being too slow because I am just constantly flying through it. But yeah, that's my experience with Halo. Love the game. Would like a little bit more, please. Although November and December updates really good. I a solid thumbs up. Rest of the year, a solid thumbs sideways. That yes. What were your favorite games or the name your game of the year, or I guess if you have a couple at the top, what they would be.
All right, game of the year, and this one's more official than anything Jeff Keighley could have brought up. My game of the year is Gotham Knight. I'm just kidding. Not Gotham Knights.
That is your going to be your most played game of the year, if that counts for anything.
Yeah, that's true. My game of the year, I actually didn't play past like 25 hours, but my game of the year is God of War Ragnarok, which I think you know. But
I do know you were
I,
very bitter after the Game Awards.
I don't know. I think Elden Ring should have won because I feel like a lot of sequels have the disadvantage because they have to create something new after also, being a sequel. But I just like I wasn't even a big fan of the God of War games before God of War 2018, so I can't really call myself like a diehard fan. But I think they put a lot of work into the story. And obviously, none of this is new. Everyone says this, but the acting's phenomenal, and I don't know, they're very good games. I'm a very emotional gamer, so the tears were going off every time I play those games. The tears
One day
also
I'll.
go off every time I play the From Software games, but for a
Well,
completely different reason.
what did you think of Elden Ring? Because you actually played it and I did not.
I played like 10 hours of Elden Ring, and which is not enough to even get anywhere in that game. But I, the farthest I've gotten to any From Software game was Sekiro, and even that brought me so much pain.
Well, isn't Sekiro like the hard? The other ones are difficult, but there's no like you could cheese the other ones by playing like a mage or whatever. From my understanding, I can't say I'm well versed in any of them,
There's things that
but
make it
there's not.
easier and like lessen the pain, soften the blow to your face, to your jugular, but nothing really. It's like you can't just make it an easy mode. No matter what, they're all kind of tricky to work around. And I have the most massive skill diff when it comes to From Software games, apparently.
Hmm.
And I do not have the willpower to push through the pain without getting canceled from my responses to the games.
That is fair. I have not committed to any FromSoft game yet, so I can't say have gone through the suffering yet. But
I'm telling you, you should make it your gaming resolution for next year.
I'm thinking about it, but we'll cover that in a little bit. So, any other top games before I move on to mine?
Not really. It's all kind of, what I played most. A lot of it was, I don't know, this year was slow for me, but
Hmm. Well, I will say I'm going to add my least favorite game real quick. Or actually, two games I really didn't care for. Gran Turismo 7, never played one. The economy in the game is horrible. I hate just progressing. I got into Gran Turismo because my roommate is super into Forza. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm looking forward to the next Forza, but Gran Turismo came out this year, so I'll try that. I bought like the 25th anniversary, so the only reason I got as far as I did is because I had all these extra credits from the special edition. Oh my, it's just terrible. It's a good game. The core game is amazing. The economy is garbage, and it's like tied to real world money because you can buy the credits, and Forza just throws money at you in Horizon and in Motorsport. They just kind of throw money at you. You can do things. Gran Turismo, not at all. And it was starting to get on my nerves at some point. So that's at the bottom of my list. And then I was thoroughly disappointed with Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I just,
really?
it's way down there. The reason being, I really appreciate all the open worlds they built and all the movies and all the characters. That's all really good. But the open worlds are really small and not very creative sometimes because they just had to build so many, and the levels are just laughably short sometimes. Like, for example, at the very beginning of episode 1, you got Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon going through the Trade Federation ship,
Mm.
and it's just like 9 hallways and then the level's over. There's nothing creative, there's not really a bunch of puzzles. Just kind of like, all right, grind through these 9 hallways real quick, do these very, very basic things. And there's a Lego game, so basic puzzles are okay. And it's like the beginning, so like I get it. But I just compare it to like the original game from like the PS2 era, and I'm like, wow, the levels themselves went downhill. And the open worlds are okay, but that's not fully my thing. And I like Lego open worlds. I played the first Marvel superhero game, and I 100% in that game. Love that open world. It was awesome going around New York. Star Wars didn't click for me. I just didn't think it was that good.
Mm.
But that was the bottom. Towards the top, my top 3 games, 2 of them didn't even come out this year. So there's that. I played Jack and Daxter 1. 100% of that. I got the platinum on PlayStation Now, or PlayStation Plus Classic, whatever the tier is now, whatever they renamed it to. Love that game. I played that half a dozen times at least. Portal 2, played that because it came out on Switch. Also amazing game. But my top game of the year was Tiny Tina's because oh yeah, I like Borderlands. Um, it's Borderlands D&D with my wife's least favorite voiced character of all time.
Isn't that
So
also Ashley Birch?
I think so.
Yeah.
My wife cannot stand Tiny Tina whatsoever. Hates like listening to her voice, and I get it. It's supposed to be like obnoxious teenager, but I loved it, and I loved Will Arnett and Andy Samberg and
Wanda
uh,
Sykes.
Wanda Sykes. Yes, I'm bad with voice actor names.
Put some respect on her name.
I am sorry, Wanda. It was they were just such a good such a good performance, great comedy and humor, and it's Borderlands. Like there's just grinding with new guns and all kinds of stuff, and it was fantasy Borderlands, and I loved it. So that was my favorite game I played this year, and because I didn't play any of the big dogs, and amongst the games I played, that is my game of the year is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands because I do think it's a really good game. I just feel like maybe God of War would have beat it if I actually played it. So there's that.
Makes sense.
Also, fun thing to note. So you played very little Switch this year. I
Yeah.
did play quite a bit of Switch. However, I should be ashamed because my number one played Switch game was not a video game. I played Catan for like 40 something hours on Switch with my roommate, and I again don't regret that. But at the same point, I I feel like I should have played something more.
An actual like video game, not a board game.
Well, so Catan got me into board games because I wanted to learn how to play a little bit more intense board games. So I figured, well, a great thing I heard on an IGN podcast was if you buy the digital version, that helps teach you and you can kind of get into the physical board game space. I was like, okay. So I bought Catan because Catan is simple and um, I know people owned it and it was very popular and so on and so forth. And I'm like, okay, people say this is a good game. So I started playing it and I played it a bunch. I thought it was fun. And I came home one day and my roommate was playing it. And I've since probably spent thousands upon thousands of dollars. I now have a living room full of board games, which is not a
Yeah.
joke. It is not a joke. I think on Board Game Geek, I officially have like over 150 board games and
Jesus.
like many expansions as well. I It's become a problem, but I refuse to admit that it's a real problem. But yes, so Catan did me in, but that was my Nintendo Switch most played game.
And he's not joking about that. So to the two people that are probably listening to this, he started to get into board games. I don't know. How long ago was that? It was like
It was last December is when I bought Catan, and then I kind of played it into the new year.
and then the more we started visiting your apartment, the more and more your entire living space was just walled with video or board games. Some of which most of us had not even heard about or even known existed.
And my roommate got into them as well. And now I have like a crap ton of board games based on video games as well. So, oh, it's full circle. It's wonderful.
Is it enough to call it an addiction?
Oh, for sure. Maybe, well, definitely, probably quantity, but also just like quantity spent for sure. It's got to be that high. But
I didn't
that's
play too
good.
much Switch. Sorry. Most of my Switch games were things that I had already played, mostly Animal Crossing, because I had to keep up, and I still have not achieved more hours than your wife in that game, so I can't call myself a gamer. Because Animal Crossing is definitely the most competitive of the games that I own.
I thought you had passed her at some point, but then it was pointed out to me that I was very, very wrong and that you're
Yeah,
still like 100 hours behind or 80 hours or something stupid.
it's like 80 hours.
Yeah,
I'm so
no.
disappointed.
I think I'm
Other
like
than that,
150 hours behind you, so
yeah.
I don't know. I like Animal Crossing, but it's hard for me to want to get into the rhythm of all right chores. So, but that was this year. But what about next year, Justin? What are you looking forward to here?
We doing the
Now we'll do the drafts after. So we're gonna do it for the one of you listening. We're gonna do a draft towards the end. So it's gonna be snake draft format, and I'll explain that when we get to it. But we're gonna be drafting the top games of this year. So Justin, don't play your hand too hard here on what games you're most looking forward to. But
yeah, no, I don't
so
want to tell you
Justin,
because you're gonna snatch them all.
I think we have a very similar list. Yeah, we can do the draft now if you want. We'll do that, and then we can talk about the games as we go.
All
How's
right.
that sound?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
take that. I want you snatching my stuff.
I will let you have the first pick. But the way it works, we are drafting the best games that are slated to come out in 2023. That they have been given a release date of 2023 or the upcoming year sometime soon or whatever. Doesn't have to have a solid release date, and probably one or four of these are going to be delayed.
Yeah.
But we're going to do 6 rounds. The idea is whoever at the end, and if we had an audience, the one of you listening, you
Us.
could vote. Yes. That's just me making sure the audio didn't screw up. So Tyler, when you vote for yourself, the way it works is by the end of it, whoever has the better list, if those were the only games they could play in 2023, who do you think would have a better year? So of these, we're gonna do 6 rounds. So by the end of it, you're gonna have 6 games on your list. Can't take what I've already gotten. Yeah, and whoever has what you view as the better year of games from this perspective. Now, some of these games could bomb or flop or get delayed, and then things not go well. But yeah, and then snake draft style. So Justin, you can go first, and the way it'll work is you'll draft first, I'll draft second, and then I draft again, then you, then me, and so on until we hit to 6 each, 12 total.
Okay. All right, so I just pick.
Yep. So what do you think? It's both a public thing and a personal thing. What is your most anticipated, most looking forward to game of 2023?
Well, with everything I have been playing the end of this year, all the Batman games, and it's gonna be Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, because I did not know that was gonna be a continuation of the Arkham games until like last week.
What who are you most excited to play as?
Harley, it's Tara Strong Harley, so that shouldn't even be a question. Cannot believe you asked me that.
That's fair. I don't know who voices anybody else in that game, so
I don't either. I just know Tara Strong, and that's all I need to know to make me
I know
buy a
Kevin
game.
Conroy is Batman, but that's not a playable character.
Yeah,
So
that's also just as iconic, if actually probably more iconic.
probably in the upper echelon of voice acting roles, along with
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's Joker. So, man, Suicide Squad first off the board, and that's
I'm
I did
snatching
not
it, so
think you
it's not
I did
possible.
not think you were gonna go there. That's fine. I'm gonna take what I thought you were gonna take. No, I'm gonna put that as the second round, just so it doesn't make the first round. I'm gonna go with Spider-Man 2.
Oh shit, I forgot about that game. I forgot that was coming out next year.
Yep. And then they just had like a blog post or something confirming they're aiming for fall 2023. So, uh, yeah, I mean it's a continuation of the other Insomniac games. It's got Venom. It's probably going to have some form of Green Goblin or some teaser with Green Goblin or something because why not? That game just I'm so looking forward to it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know like what to. Are you going to be able to do co-op? Are you going to be able to play as Miles? Because I feel like after playing a bit of remastered and then playing all of Miles Morales, Miles was like just so unique with his different like he's got the stealth and he's got the like the what is it like the poison sting or whatever his electric
Yeah, it's
stuff
like
is.
Venom, Sting, I think it's
Yeah.
called.
And so like in my mind I'm like how do you go back to Peter now with not having all the really cool abilities? Like he's got the web bomb, he's got the volley or whatever, but like no, Miles is awesome and like his swinging style and
hmm
everything and like the music in that game. Like I thought Miles was awesome. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But of course, on a separate side note, they do have the Spider-Man multiverse, Into the Spider-Verse 2. I don't know remember what's called.
Is it
I
like
think it's
across the
Across. Yeah.
Spider-Verse? Yeah.
So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and the Spider-Man PS4 is in there in a cameo. So maybe you get a little like not that I think it's going to be canon to that or anything like that, but maybe just a little side teaser thing. I'd be cool with that. But Spider-Man 2 is my first round pick, which
I
brings me to my second round pick that I thought you were going to go with, which I mean it was most anticipated game of the year. How do you not go with the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom?
oh yeah.
And you're the Zelda person. I mean,
I
what do
am
you
the
think of
Zelda
this game?
person. I'm scared. I'm nervous because Breath of the Wild, all sequels scare me. After The Last of Us Part 2, all sequels scare me.
That's
Um,
fair. That is very fair.
I feel like everyone thinks Breath of the Wild is like the masterpiece that it is, and that's because it is a masterpiece. That game's like therapy, but not for free, $60 Nintendo price. But I just don't. I'm scared for how they're going to try to add on to that without taking away, parts of the things that people loved about the first game. Also, Zelda sequels, it's such a weird concept to me because not a lot of Zelda games have a direct sequel. Most of them do not. I mean, you can count Majora's Mask with Ocarina of Time if you want to count that as like a direct sequel.
Like it
But
kind of is, but I mean, it's probably the closest direct sequel we've ever had because it's in the Ocarina engine using
yeah, like
similar
all the same
things to
models.
Ocarina.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a very different game. Like it
Yeah.
is not the same game whatsoever. It was also very creepy.
Yeah.
That being said, I've only played a little bit of Majora's Mask. I did play through Ocarina of Time though. But yeah, I don't know. I still think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be amazing. I mean, I don't know how much they're gonna change because they don't show anything, and
Yeah.
I want to see it. Like, this game is coming out in 5 months, and I want to see it. It is my number 2 pick for next year. Like, oh, let me play this game. They're going into the sky. I know that much, and that's all I know.
Yeah, that's all I see when I see is when I look at the game is him, Fortnite dropping. That's all I know. And some weird estimations of him time traveling, question mark. I don't know.
That's fair. He does
My
have that
lack of
weird like
knowledge is what scares me. That's
2 looks. Yeah. Well, Justin, you have 2 more picks coming up. What's your next most anticipated game for next year?
uh, I think my next one I'm gonna say is shit. I think it's gonna be Hogwarts Legacy.
I wanted that one.
I was figuring out which one to snatch. I made a tiny list of ones that I could take. Uh, you already know, but I've liked Harry Potter for quite a while, since like junior high. And I don't know, I just feel like that's a game that, similar to Gotham Knights, child me is going to be able to get lost in because it's something that I would have wanted a long time ago, but was not made until just now. And I don't know. I feel like even if it flops, I will probably put at least like 100 hours onto that game
Oh,
just
like
because,
Gotham Knights.
yeah, exactly like Gotham Knights. It could be the biggest pile of crap, and I will still give it my whole heart.
See, I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know. It just looks like you're going around doing like homework and stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, but if I were to imagine like, okay, I want a game where I can just if I want like I just want to experience Harry Potter, right? I want to go to school. I want to do the classes. I want to go to. I'm like, I guess they're kind of hitting everything on the head, where it's like, oh, you can go and actually do all the classes and explore, and you can choose which house you're going to be in, and you're going to be able to duel and explore the castle and all this other stuff,
Mhm.
and you can actually. I didn't watch the most recent, like the whole 20 minutes or whatever it was, but you can get on the broom and fly around. The only thing that maybe I'm a little disappointed. I wish they would have just put some form of this in, or maybe do it as like a DLC. But there is no Quidditch, no playable Quidditch at least, and I kind of wish
Impossible.
that was in there. But I understand. The only thing I'm curious about is the story because you can just straight up use like the 3 curses, the forbidden curses or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
So it's like, oh, I could just murder somebody. Okay. So I don't know like lore wise how much I'm gonna believe it, but like it kind of checks all the boxes. I just want to experience Harry Potter as a video game. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, for all it could be the biggest life sim, like playing The Sims 4, Hogwarts, and I'd still probably just lose myself in it for hours. I doubt because there's not a lot of, good, in my opinion, good Harry Potter games. There is a mobile app, 2 mobile games that just came out. A Hogwarts
I have no
Mystery,
idea.
that is, oh my.
Oh, okay.
That was a game. Have you not heard about these? Or
No, I at some point like I know they at some point tried to do the whole Pokemon Go thing.
yeah, that was
And I
actually
just
made by Niantic.
yeah,
And
I don't think anything works with Pokemon Go the way Pokemon does. Like I just
No.
there's a Witcher one, and I think that shut down this year. And like Witcher and Monster Hunter, I can kind of see it, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Go was just perfect the way it was for Pokemon, and I don't think anything else comes close.
Yeah, I tried playing the Pokemon style one, played it for like 10 minutes, uninstalled it because I just don't think I'd see I don't play a lot of mobile games in general, so. And then Hogwarts Mystery was one where it's a story game, but it has one of those like energy bars where you're only allowed to do so many things for a certain bit of time. Like you're only allowed to play like probably 30 minutes at a time. So, and it's probably not that much content to it. It's probably only like a 2-hour game that, gives you some more Harry Potter story, but it takes forever to beat, even though there's not very much to it.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. Harry Potter games have been disappointing or at least new ones. Obviously, there's some old ones that I
The
haven't
only one
really
I played in the
touched.
past was the Quidditch World Cup one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when you started talking about playable Quidditch.
But let's go back to the draft here. You have another pick. So far you have Suicide Squad and Hogwarts Legacy. And Spider-Man 2 and Legend of Zelda are off the table.
I am going to snatch, because I think this is the one that you'd want as well. Diablo 4.
Dang it. That was my next pick. Oh, that was the one I wanted next. Okay.
It feels great to snatch that
Ah,
off my chest.
I'm so looking forward to that one.
This one's probably a bit random because I played about like 15 minutes Diablo 3 and none of the first or second Diablo. But just the new trailers that have been releasing and everything, I think this for the summer games, reveal with my main man Jeff Keighley. It looks phenomenal. Like I
It
haven't
does
even
look
played a
really
lot of
good.
Diablo, and that game looks. I mean, like I might be more excited for that than like Hogwarts Legacy or any of the other games that I've talked about previously, just because I don't know, it seems different, new, even though it's a fourth game. I'm not worried about it like being too similar to the old games because I haven't played the old games.
That's fair.
And I don't know. Everything that is talked about when they show that game makes me more and more excited for it.
I keep getting into this thing where I watch the trailers and I'm like, oh man, I'm in the mood for some Diablo. And then I'm like, well, I could play like the Diablo 3 again, or I bought it and I didn't play any of the Diablo 2 remake. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But I'm worried that if I start Diablo 2 right now, by the time Diablo 4 comes out, I'll be like, nah, I don't really feel like any more Diablo. Um, I just don't know if I'm willing to do two whole games back to back. But not that not that I would, it'd take me 6 months to play Diablo 2, but it's definitely up there. I was gonna take that as my next pick because Diablo 4 looks awesome. And
That's
I can't wait to be a part of it from the launch because I've never played. I got Diablo 2 remake, didn't really play it. I got Diablo 3 way later when it came out on Xbox One, and it was awesome. But it's it's a little more fun cooperatively, I think. I did play a bit, and then there's like a billion different difficulties, so it's really a grind fest, which is part of the appeal. But I think I played two classes, one all the way through a campaign or two, and then the other one just a little bit, and then I dropped off.
yeah. The most Diablo I've played was the Minecraft Diablo. So
I played
I
through
forget
all
what that
that. I
game is
got all the
called.
achievements, and then they came out with DLC that I didn't buy. Now I no longer have all the achievements, but I did like that game. Minecraft Dungeons. I did play through all of that.
Minecraft Dungeons, that's what it was.
All right. Well, you suck. Okay. Okay. I think one of these is definitely coming back to me. Oh man, I got two more picks here. Okay. I'm gonna go with. I am like timidly excited for this game, but at the same point, I think as it gets closer, it's going to be something I look into more and more, and I'm excited to play. I'm gonna go Starfield because I mean Todd Howard. Like I
Yeah,
like his
Todd Howard.
games. Now given I've only finished Fallout 4 and I played through like 80% of Fallout 3 and then got to a point where I was stuck and I didn't feel like trying to figure out how to get around it. I played like an hour of New Vegas. I've played like an hour of Skyrim, but it's like Fallout in space, and probably more like Fallout than it is like Skyrim. So the games I actually played, yes, I didn't play 76. You did that, so that's
Yeah.
yep, that's a stain you'll never be able to wash clean. But
Well, didn't that come back? I thought it
yeah,
had like a minor comeback.
it did. It's still getting expansions and DLC and all this other stuff, but I mean, it's like No Man's Sky, where it's like, yeah, it came back, and at some point, maybe I'll hop onto it and be like, wow, this is awesome. I can't wait to play more. But I haven't tried it, and I don't know. I feel like I'd rather go back and play New Vegas because I didn't play that one before I'd want to play 76.
Yeah.
But Starfield,
That makes sense.
Fallout in space, it looks good. I don't have much more to say on it because there's only so much out about it.
Hmm.
But yeah, spaceships, that's cool. Okay. All right. For some variety, because so far I have action game, action adventure with Zelda, then RPG with Starfield. I want this game. I don't think it's going to come back to me, so I'm going to go with Street Fighter 6 because I like Street Fighter 5. I played a little bit of the other ones. I've never really played. I got into Street. We both got into. I don't say we both. We both played a bit of Street Fighter recently, like a year or two ago, I think. Because I think most of my experience was with you, besides online. But I like fighting games, but I've never been a part of one at launch. But I think of the most I played that's not Smash has been Street Fighter, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to being part of this and being able to try it at launch, or to buy it and then not play it and then pretend like I was there when it launched. But I don't know. I like Street Fighter. I think it looks good. I just wish they would focus on the classic characters in the trailers because I'm not excited as much about these new people.
Hmm.
I just I don't know. Maybe it's because I am again from a distance and I'm like, oh, the historical characters like Chun Li, that's cool. Ryu, that's cool. Uh, M Bison, I think that's his name. Like
Yeah, those are
I
characters
like the
I
classics.
remember. I don't remember any. I know they got like some DJ. They got Lucio now.
They
Um,
got Lucio. Is that?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
um, that's all I really remember. I still, they might have some person with a skateboard. I don't know. Didn't like a new trailer for that come out with the Game Awards?
yeah, they did, and it was new characters again. I think that was that was when Lucio or
Yeah, that's
whoever
all I remember. I just know
the
Lucio
Lucio
and
like. But I'm excited for it. I want to play it when it comes out for sure. Um, I think it comes out like a week before Diablo. Let's see here. Hold on. I have it written down somewhere. Shoot, where'd it go? Apparently, I didn't write it down. I lied. Okay. Oh, I did. Street Fighter comes out on the 2nd, and Diablo 4 comes out on June 6th, because 6/6. So, yeah, I'll have like a weekend to play Street Fighter before Diablo comes out, and then not touch Street Fighter again.
yeah, the usual though.
All right, Justin, you got two more picks. What you got?
Okay. Next pick for me is gonna be Resident Evil 4 remake. Because
That was gonna be my
recently,
last pick if you didn't take it. I'm not as excited, but
yeah, this year I played Resident Evil 2 remake for the first time. I'm not a big Resident Evil fan. Not It's my first time playing any of those games this year. Unless you count the one time we played like an
the two
hour and a
remake
half.
together for
Yeah,
yeah.
when it released. But I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Unfortunately, it made me go on to replay, or not replay, to play the Resident Evil 3 remake, which I did not like. I actually despised that one compared to the Resident Evil 2 remake. And I don't know, with all the hype around Resident Evil 4 and how much people love that game, the original, it makes me very excited for the remake. However, I have no memory. I have no nostalgia for it because I never really played Resident Evil before this year. But I like Leon. They got Daddy Leon back, so that's enough to get me back.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that he was the main character. Yeah, I've never played a Resident Evil minus that 1 hour that we played that one Halloween. But I did experience a lot of Resident Evil this year because I watched all 7 movies the
Oh my
non-animated
God.
ones. So with I think her name is Mila. I watched all
Yep.
6 of those, and then I watched the reboot with like Beck from
Yep.
Victorious, and he plays Leon. And honestly, that movie wasn't bad, but it just had like every actor I've ever thought of for like Nickelodeon or CW, because like one of the villains from Arrow, he was the main bad guy. Um, uh, shoot, Stephen Amell's brother. He plays Chris Redfield.
Robbie or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
Robbie Amell. I think he plays Chris Redfield. Like I was just, but all in all, the movie wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty decent. And I know the actors have said they want to play another. They want to do another one. I'm not opposed to it. I thought it was a pretty all right movie. Um, Although, ironically, it has the police station fairly accurately, but it's like a super small town. So they have this like giant, lavish police station, and there's like 4 cops total in this very small town. And I'm like, okay, why does this exist? Maybe it's supposed to be a full government building. But that's my experience with Resident Evil, is watching uh, some decent and some bad movies and never playing a game. But I liked it, so it was fine.
Yeah. I I've seen clips of those movies, and those were enough to make me never touch those movies.
The best part is that I watched them all in one single day.
That's
I was on
terrible.
call, so I stayed home because I couldn't do anything. And I put 14 hours straight of Resident Evil movies, and I don't. Not again. It was a moment. It wasn't my proudest. It's not my worst, but mistakes were made. I will admit. So what's your
Yeah.
next pick here?
This one might be surprising for me, but it's the next Star Wars game. And I don't even know the full.
Oh, Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, that one.
That was my neck. Dang it! Why are you taking these? I'm so
I
offended. Go ahead.
I probably shouldn't have taken this one because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan compared to most actual Star Wars fans. But after, I don't know, I didn't even fully enjoy the first one really. I just kind of, it was the first decent Star Wars game that I played. I didn't play a lot of the older, actually good ones. I just, I don't know. Star Wars scares me, and that's mostly because how strong the fans feel about the series and how much they hate the series as much as they love it.
I like all Star Wars. Some are better than others. Clone Wars era is the best, but I like all Star Wars.
Yeah, I Star Wars intimidates me, but I don't know. It wasn't a bad game. The first one wasn't a bad game, and I like the world building for Star Wars, and that's 80% of what I like about Star Wars. But I don't know. It intimidates me, but I think that's what excites me for the next game. I should probably replay the first game to remember what the hell is happening.
I
All I know
remember
is
pretty
protagonist
thoroughly,
got a
but
beard now
he does have
and
a
some
beard now.
whiskers.
I'm just curious because he one of the like the Force sister people from Darth Maul's planet. I haven't seen her in the new trailer, but she there was a whole thing is that she was tagging along with them. I know this takes place like many years after the first game, so I'm kind of at a loss for like what's happening in this game because I really have no idea. But yeah, I didn't play. I played the Fallen Order. I guess I did play Lego Star Wars this year, but I did play Battlefront back in the day. But I think that's the only. I played Battlefront 1 and 2, and I played the Star Wars Episode 3 movie tie-in game, which was actually pretty good too. Of course, I was a kid and I got it for my birthday, so I was pretty excited about that. Jedi Survivor. Okay. Jedi Survivor, it looks great, but and I was gonna take that. I went to that Oga's Cantina in Florida this year, and I got some Star Wars alcohol, and that was also a great experience. I can't believe you took that from me. Okay,
I'm sorry, I should not have taken that one.
it's fine. Well, I'm going to match your Resident Evil 4 with the horror game that I am more excited for this year, which is also a remake. Do you know what it is?
Dead Space?
Yep. The Dead Space remake. I have some experience with Dead Space. I played Dead Space 3. Not the best one. Actually, the worst one. But I enjoyed it, and I actually thought it was horrifying because I am a big chicken and I can't play horror games that well. But I don't know. I thought Dead Space was cool. I've seen entire playthroughs of the first 2 because I didn't have money then, and I, you know, couldn't buy games, but that was fine. And yeah, I'm excited to check it out and be horrified and then give up after like 5 hours because I just can't take it anymore. So yeah, Dead Space remake looks really good. I'm excited for it.
I think a lot of people are definitely going to cling on to that with the obviously the old fans and also the people that did not get their good quenching of the Callisto Protocol after that game. I never played it, so I can't really judge it, but
I was
I've heard
excited for
things.
Callisto Protocol. I think I'm still excited despite what people say, but I think it's gone from like, oh, I might buy this when it's on sale for like 10% to, oh, I might buy this when it's on sale 60%.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look bad in my opinion. I still think it looks good. Even what people said, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't bother me, but I just haven't made the commitment. Which brings me to my last pick. Oh gosh, it's between 2 games. Ironically, you've picked all things that were on my list as well. So I'm gonna go. I can tell you what I'm not gonna take that's still on the list, which was Redfall, because that game looks pretty cool. It's like the vampire one.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a different game that I know nothing about. I've never even played the games that this creator made in the past. I'm gonna take Judas. Do you remember what Judas was? It was at the Game Awards.
Absolutely not.
Judas is the game that is basically BioShock, but not titled BioShock. Like it has the same art style and those like weird abilities you can inject and start using.
Oh wait,
It
yeah, I do remember this because
it
you thought it
it
was
looked
BioShock.
really, yeah, because Sora is BioShock, and the entire time I was like, oh look, there's a new BioShock. That's really cool. Oh, it's a BioShock all over again. I've never even played BioShock, but the game looked really cool and I want to play it. So I just thought Judas was a really cool game of the year announcement, Game Awards announcement. That's what I'm looking for. It may have been announced before. I have no idea. I didn't know this game existed. Saw the trailer. Looks fantastic, and I'm going to take that with my last pick. And you have one more.
Oh, one more.
You have one more pick.
Okay.
Do you want to know what you have so far?
Yes.
You have Suicide Squad, Hogwarts Legacy, Diablo 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Jedi Survivor, and I have Spider-Man 2, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield, Street Fighter 6, Dead Space, and Judas.
Okay. Um, shoot. Well, I guess there's a lot of games that are like have been revealed, but they don't have official release dates for next year that I'm just hoping. So
That's
I'm
okay.
not going to talk
Those are
about
fair
them.
game because I think on my list Starfield is supposed to come out in 2023, but doesn't have an official date. Same with Judas. It's kind of like a TBA. So those are fair game. You can take that if there's a realistic possibility that it actually comes out this year.
I don't think the one I was gonna say that Avatar game, but with how long they make the movies, I don't think that's gonna come out this year.
I feel like that could come out this year. It was supposed to come out this year around the movie in 2022.
Oh,
I would say that's definitely in the category.
okay. Well, then I think I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna snatch that one up.
Avatar,
That
it's
one
something
also
of
might be
Pandora.
surprising. Yeah. I know just as little about that as I do most of what's happening in the Star Wars game, but it's one of those things where I know people like it. People like absolutely adore, Avatar. And I remember very little about the first one because I haven't seen it since it was released when I was like 9. So I don't know. But with the release of the new one recently, makes me want to play that even more.
That
Even
is
though,
very fair. I haven't seen the new one yet. I need to rewatch the first one and then go to the movies and see the new one.
yeah.
But I everybody's like, oh, that was the most forgettable movie. I remember a lot about that movie, and then there's things that people talk about. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen. I think that movie was awesome. I can't wait to watch it again. I can't wait to go see the new one. I was not down on it like everybody else. I'm super excited for it. and that game actually because it's in that world. And Ubisoft games, they're very samey, but at the same time, I like Ubisoft games. I like going around just collecting things and having a good time. So final lists here. Turn the page back. Uh, you have Suicide Squad, Hogwarts Legacy, Diablo 4, RE4 Remake, Jedi Survivor, and the Avatar Something of Pandora. I should probably look that up. While I look that up, I have Spider-Man 2, Legends of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield, Street Fighter 6, and Dead Space and Judas. And the Avatar game is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
Ah.
Although I'm looking at this is from thegamer.com and they have a list of all these release dates. And I think they misspelled it because it says Frontiers of Pandora's. And there's an S and no A. So I'm going to guess that was wrong. But are there any games coming out next year that you're excited about, but we're not going to make that draft?
Um, Not really. I was kind of debating if I wanted to use the Avatar one with the Horizon VR game, even though I don't even know if I'm gonna get a PSVR 2 just because I didn't use a lot of the first one. It was yours, first of all, but
No, that's true.
I didn't really have an interest. VR doesn't hit the same for me as it does a lot of other people. Kind of loses its effect after like using it for 30 minutes. Besides from Among Us, because Among Us will always be a masterpiece.
Among Us is beautiful. Best game ever.
Yeah. But I don't know. I played it safe and just said the Avatar game.
Yeah, I am excited. I kind of talked about it or mentioned it earlier. I'm excited for Forza Motorsport, the reboot to come out, because I did not like Gran Turismo 7. I have played 3 motorsport games and 3 or 4 Horizon games. I just like Forza better. I think it's a better franchise. In recent years, I can't say for way back in the day, but recently I like Forza way better. And so I'm excited for Motorsport, even if I only play like 10 to 20 hours. It's on Game Pass. It won't cost me anything. So yeah, and I'm also looking forward to. Um, I've never played the originals, but I'm starting to play a little more PC and then my Steam Deck,
Mhm.
and so I'm looking at like these strategy games and like these city builders and stuff. Games like oh gosh, Halo Wars is not a good example because it's an old game and I played both of those. Like Ashes of Singularity and like Total War games, like Total Warhammer. I've been looking at those, and there's a Company of Heroes 3 coming out in February. That kind of looks appealing. I've never played the first two. I bought them on Steam. Haven't tried them because that's every Steam game ever for me. But I would like to check that out at some point. And I think that's really all that jumps out at me. Of course, I just want to play all the games ever. So you know, basically take a video game say it comes out in 2023, and I'll say yes, I will try to play that. I won't, but I will try.
We know you will at least buy them.
I will at least buy it, and I will continue to go into debt. That's fine. But yeah, 2023. Most of the release dates are still only in the first half of the year, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Just absolutely absurd. Oh, there is one more game I'm really hoping comes out this year or gets announced to come out this year or early next year, which is another Xbox Game Studio game. It is Avowed, which is basically it's Obsidian, the people who made Fallout New Vegas, which
Mhm.
a lot of people adore and think is better than 3 and 4, and definitely better than 76. And they're also like they made Jedi, not Jedi, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, and a bunch of classic. They're basically the same team, but like the company disbanded, whatnot. A lot of creators that made like the original Fallout, and they're like really good RPG people. Um, and they're making a Skyrim like game, but set in like the Pillars of Eternity RPG universe. And I think it sounds really cool. It looks really cool from that one trailer we got, and so I really hope that comes out this year. But we haven't heard about that game in like 2 or 3 years now, so I can't say for anything if that's actually going to come out. I hope it does.
Yeah, your little explanation was the most I know about that game now. So
Yep. Well, that's fair. Oh, let's see. Hopefully they announce more stuff so you can learn more about it and then be like, ah, look, it's Skyrim again. But maybe better. I hope.
yeah.
But that closes most of what we wanted to talk about. We'll get to the last part here in a second. Anything else for 2023 you're looking forward to or not looking forward to?
Um, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not looking forward to. I'm having the cyberpunk effect with the new Zelda, where there's so much hype around it that I'm afraid because one little mistake could ruin it for me.
That is fair.
Although there was not one little mistake with cyberpunk, but
Well, there was a
still,
couple little mistakes with Cyberpunk,
there's
but
a few hundred little mistakes with cyberpunk. But
do you have any okay, here's something to close out on here that you have no time to prepare for, so good luck. Any predictions for 2023? Anything you think, okay, this is going to be announced, or this is not going to happen, or this game is going to flop?
oh god, um, I don't know. I don't think I have any prediction. I have hopes. I have hopes and wishes, but I don't have a lot of predictions.
What hopes and wishes do you have?
My hopes and wishes. Breath of the Wild 2, because the thing with Breath of the Wild was that it had, this amazing open world that was very alive. There's a lot to it, even though it was, there's parts of it that were more empty than others. It definitely was, it wasn't dead. It felt like you were discovering something new every single time. I hope that they're able to kind of recreate that feeling in the second game, or make it so it doesn't feel like you're just playing an expansion that's really a full sequel that you're paying $60 because Nintendo hates you and your wallet.
That's fair. Yep.
I guess the only prediction I have is, I don't know. I'll say it with one that was on your list, Spider-Man 2. And I'm playing that safe because I feel like there's not a lot of new.
You're predicting that that's going to actually come out?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
predicting it's going to be similar to the other Spider-Man games. I feel like there's not a lot of creative measures they can take with what they did already.
Yeah,
Like those are very set in stone games, which I'm fine with, honestly. I don't think they
and
need to be making.
part of that for me is Spider-Man takes place in New York.
Mhm.
He already built New York. Like I mean, how and you already upresed it for the remaster in the Miles Morales. So
Mhm.
like, yeah, you got to restructure some things and get some buildings, new buildings in there, and maybe take some dead areas away and this and that. But like, it's New York, and you already have the gameplay system set up, and you already have the world built. So just make a new story and some other stuff, and you should be good to go. But the same could be said about Breath of the Wild too, and
Mhm.
that's also taken 6 years. So who knows? I feel like that should definitely come out this year. I know the first one got like delayed a couple times and it took forever, but I have faith that Spider-Man 2 will come out this year or early next year. I predict, this is my only prediction. I think there's gonna be a Mario game this year. I'm not saying it's a 3D Mario game. I'm not saying it's a not gonna be a spinoff, but they have a Mario movie coming out this year, and it would be a shame to not have a Mario game to come out this year as well. So, and it's been 6 years since Breath of the Wild 2. It's also been 6 years since Mario Odyssey. So who knows? Or just maybe like another 2D new Super Mario Bros. Even though there was like 14 of those and they were all the same game.
Yeah.
Something could come out. All right, Justin, we're gonna close this with video game book club. And I'm gonna explain what that means. And it does not mean actually reading a book because I do have like 26 Halo books. So, I don't own them actually. There are 26 Halo books. I probably have like half. No, not actual reading, but it is going to be a recommendation. So this month you were going to start. You're going to recommend me a game, and then at the beginning, or probably Yeah, we'll do like the first week of February, whatever episode that would be. I will play that game through all of January. Our one audience member, which is also me, just reviewing the audio, will could play along with, so I will, and I'll basically talk about it, and then you could play it or you could not. It doesn't matter. It could be a new game. It could be an old game. It could be just something it recommended that, hey, go play this. You might like this. Tell me about it. We'll talk about it at the beginning of February, and then at that point, I will recommend a game to you. And then maybe if we ever have uh, some other fools join us on this podcast, they can also partake or recommend games or be recommended games. So Justin, what game do you think I should play and talk about in January?
Okay, this game is kind of old. It came out same year as Breath of the Wild, I believe. Yeah, 2017.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, I have a guess, but go ahead.
you have a guess?
I have a guess.
Okay, well, it's I don't know how much you played this, or if you did play it at all, but it's hard to find games that you haven't played by now, or even if it's just for like 15 minutes. It is
Well,
Nier
you can
Automata.
choose those. Oh, that's a good game. Actually, that is a good idea. No, you can choose games I haven't like finished. I thought you were gonna go with Horizon.
Oh,
Um,
no.
okay, near
Yes.
is it Automata, or I've heard somebody say before Automata, and I was like
I
that.
did. I'm pretty
That's
sure it just does
disgusting.
not roll off the same. So I'm just gonna
No,
say
it does not.
Automata.
Did they remake that, or was that like
It has
because
a
there was
Game
like
of
a
the Year
near
edition,
replicant?
but oh,
Okay,
I think
near
that's
replicant, is that a sequel or
I
a?
think it's a sequel slash prequel.
Okay,
But Nier
okay,
Automata,
so
I didn't play Nier Replicant, but yeah, Nier Automata is the game because that's one that I played that you have not played, which is a rare case.
there's
And
actually a lot of games you've played that I have not played, especially like Sony exclusives.
oh yeah,
So okay, well I will play that, and then come the first episode of February, I will uh, tell you how it was, what I thought of it,
all right.
and then just to close it out, we did mention this briefly, and I'll just I haven't decided on anything, so I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with what I went. The gaming resolution we talked about earlier. Obviously, this is the thing that I was doing. I don't think you do it, but the idea is that I pick a series, and for all of 2023, I want to get through that series at some point. It doesn't have to be all in one go, like right at the beginning of the year, but at some point over the year, I would like to finish this whole series, or like all the games by one developer, or something like that. Um, I haven't really picked one. The fallback right now is the Soulsborne games. Of course, it's not the new year yet when we're recording this, so maybe I'll change my mind. But we're gonna tentatively go with the Soulsborne games
All right. I think that's a great pick because
because
you
you want me
haven't
to be
experienced
brutally
enough of the
miserable
pain.
while yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts before we wrap this up so we can have technical difficulties and none of this even mattered?
No, not unless you got something that I can work around because I'm not creative.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, we're both equally not as creative. Beautiful.